other girls them bad, but see my girl she bad. No other girl be hotter, no nada. My girl, them other girls them bad, but see my girl she bad. No other girl be hotter, no nada. My girl, shit. So me move, me feeling what it, put me ding, me feeling what it. Oh, I say the things where they kill me, what it, be the things she they do.
Listen to Fire Will Burn You on NFM Radio with Mansa Musa, Monday to Saturday, 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. Fire will burn you. I want NFM Radio. Jumedia Mansa Musa Ede Bro. Enjoy the copy minida. And rain on song. A copy known to NFM Radio. Emudaho. NFM Radio. Emudaho. NFM Radio, Emudaho. Fire will burn you on NFM Radio with Mansa Musa, Monday to Saturday, 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. Minia, see Fire will burn you NFM Radio. Jumedia Mansa Musa Ede Bro, a Joada Copem Memneda, and Renon song, a Copem non do.
For say dear, yenam top connect so a manisika de bagana if we are fanani na yenchia capre. Annie, are you free? Top connect a masika money I am recra. You hear any so but download it with Top Connect app no our Play Store. Diama with Android phone and as we use iPhone so or Apple Store not download the Top Connect. A simple cra. Top Connect to a mind radio num so Europe, North America and Asia. Woman will dofu sika for Top Connect so a tem na emre na mawa hoto swonso sese die sika manye di foforo kra any Top Connect so we yan chechemu bia for Top Connect our +442 081 6155 and a +442 081 761 600 +447 882 950 088 and nasa hwehwe Top Connect our befuntin tefidie nyina so Top Connect Fesika mani wa dofwa sunjemu a unchia kapre Top Connect yensu ye dieni.
President Nanado ye frame Matheson sunyane na mewo makotena awonu Holland akọ sam infifure sika kakra minya ye no me dia ba mia me maimu Ghana dia ba beto registered bank JN bank yi. President Nanado Uber TV so be catch Ghana for say JN Bank anye na dwuma yi ti waje bank na licenses no with the customers ni sika be mo 3 years muni mensanka emisika sika kakre ka ye no so 550 million media kwa akoto commercial bank na me say commercial bank de me di misika koto ho a e save. President Nanado enam IMF bosiana wo kwa koboninti osimi misika 550 million na odi akwa akoye adwuma nya interest wo so no once the koralo onfa mame misika trene no so ose onfa mame jese 2024 na sika no interest ketewa no a menya no obema me mu 5%. Menya adwuma wo Ghana mintimi so enko Holland se me koye adwuma mimfi akọ animu kakra kwan ben so na mefa so a me na meyire ne memma yibedidi. Mr. President mesro se memma se me be street carefree ho mia misika makosam infifre enya no mesro se obama mensa aka obi bia obi tie saa me audio me recording yi bi no mesro se mo de beto mo platform so ebetimi afa so ma President Nanado nensa aka wenyama sem yi bi etie Ghana mpanyinfo mesere mo so se mo ne President Nanado be kasa ama me medamase.
Good morning, President Nanado Adankwa Akufo-Addo. Ono pay mi bano boko. Midin the ASP retired Franklin Nati. Mesun Ghana ewo police mu 24 plus years. Na mi gratuity mensan kano milito bond 2 years aka 1 year this year September 2023 na mi bond no amateur wu adwina wo de ba ye say wakoboka ana wa bugana abofom enti me bra ma bre sika medito bond no commercial bank no onfa mame we enye am robber ene ebe chimiji misika o oman panyi a ya tu abama no se onhwe yeso emra wo through plane 18,000 pounds an hour Nkrofo ka kyerɛ wante. Emra wo fa so many ministers say omunu na woni omu betumi aye adwuma. Nkrofo ka kyerɛ wante. Ene your incompetence inti me bre ama bre. Me di sika yedi tua me ka say gratuity. Me fa hwe me ho so no. Usi wafa. This is 2033. Se mi manu na upese omumbe jisika na minana nomwa minim. President, wani diemu misrew. Unyana ni bank edi nim eji loans no. Mfaso a wanya no misrew. Mano fa nsa mfaso no. Ekutu yesika no. Mesika no mfa mame. Nanado utrimu yedin papa. Obi a maye juma Ghana mra kyerɛ sɛ 24 years plus no yentua meka as a retired officer no. Usi untua meka. Menya 60 years ye. Nanado misra mibisa wo. Have you been a civil servant in Ghana before? Have you worked as a civil servant? Please. Nanado. Mimpese. Mbe kasati yao. Mimpese mbe dumi usu eni ubusiya debi. Midi yao esreo. Tise na Mr. Matheson. Efri sunyani esreo no. Jai misika mami. Midi di ASP. Franklin Kwesi Nate. Mitome bon wo commercial bank. It was Accra North Branch. Please, I beg you, in the name of God, don't touch my money. Don't touch my money. Don't touch my money. Anybody who receives this, please send it to as many platforms for Nana Adodankwa Akufo-Addo to hear and to see. Or his cousin Ken Oforiatta should hear. Please, Nanado, I'm not supposed to beg you. Because when you were begging that you should be tried, I remember traveling from Kumasi to Kofrodua to vote for you 2016, thinking you are bringing something on board. I regretted it. I have regretted all my life. Some friends told me, Anka unya accident or question na uya. Well, Nanado, please, whoever received this message, forward it to as many platforms. Let Nanado hear me and ensure I have my money. Thank you.
What's name wacha? Manage 2 years. Says yeah, the fear be 2 years. I want them. What's name? What's name 2 years? We are 2 years account. Says yeah, no. Sir, dan someone has a per se. Open single room. Says yeah, no put 600. Put 500. Put 700, 800. Not dying. Says here agent for 100 CDs for viewing fee, and I say 80 Ghana for viewing fee. Just show you the room. Says here if you're a for beard, your mother agent for Uchia 9,600. Also Uchia agent 900, 600, 900 and almost 1,000 CDs. Why? Says here you to the end day. Why? Like why? What? Like why? Hey, like it's serious. Say, Matsna demo 2 years. I'm paying 8,000. Now I'm supposed to pay 9,600. And you're taking the 2 years. You take 1 year and put. Because you see me 6 months and 1 year. Tesi ade we ejuma me fiera. Ube boa no busumi pay a the amount. Say 600 or say 700. You have to eat only small one pay because a whole month no pay. Enti baka one be den. Uma ehwe bibi yi o. Uma ehwe bibi yi o man mu ampanifo mo nka wan same hwe na youth for ne ye bre na ye kunkum ye ni how. A direct inti ye be di ponti no. Ube komo ye kun. Bobe koma ye kunti youth no nti ye bra no muhu edan sem e kunye adai how Ghana ye ble papa adai and then fiera walk in nka jefere me patro me pedai be ka se hu agent viewing fees so do coach said them or bet you 80 cedis and now say 100 cedis and then dan so man dying who could that 600 oh single room name or do 2 years 600 cedis 2 years because of that into the ulti mudadano or no person or two now or do a for a show on what 600 what 500 that they would turn into a person 2 years. At the moon come she my say youth in the year bread. Ye ani ye beto abo ni ye aso ye to aba. Na me dey may influence in crop for keke.
Listen to Fire Will Burn You on NFM Radio with Mansa Musa Monday to Saturday 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. Minia, see Fire Will Burn You NFM Radio. Jumedia Mansa Musa ede bro. Ejwada kopem memneda. Enumre non song ekopem non do. Listen to Fire Will Burn You on NFM Radio with Mansa Musa Monday to Saturday 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. NFM Radio emu daho. NFM Radio emu daho. NFM Radio emu daho.
I say NFM Radio emu daho. Emu daho. Yes, welcome to NFM Radio and today's program, Fire Will Burn You. So him say emu daho die, and I win him. Fire Will Burn You is nightly politics, special politics coming to you from NFM Radio. Mansa Musa, I'm sitting in the captain's bridge. I'm driving the ship. If you want to join me to sail away. Sail away. Yes, sail away. Sail away, no dear, and I don't know, sailing. Right, so CBSA says fire will burn you, and that signifies the start, the beginning of this program coming to you right here from NFM Radio here in the capital of UK, London. Anyway, so tonight, what we're going to discuss, I want us, to ponder on this issue. When the news came that some of the NDC MPs have caved in and voted to empower Nanado, the anger, the frustration, and the miserable feeling that greeted this news, and everyone, we've all said what we want to say. The NDC grassroots, the faithfuls and all of them. Then even the neutrals and the rest of society, we've all come out with our response, misgivings, generally. And now that a lot of water has gone past the bridge, or has passed under the bridge, so to speak, we want to ponder. My question is that, yes, it is true, very, very true, that the damage that is being done to Ghana, it's not because of the NDC MPs. That is true. It is rather in spite of their efforts, however they put in. It is always very difficult. In spite of that effort, Nanado and his people are hammering Ghanaians with more and more and more taxes, with no specific returns or what we call it, specific gains coming from them. So the problem here is that, or the understanding of many people is that, look, we have to acknowledge that the recent happenings in the parliament, where the NDC MPs decided to vote in a certain way, which has strengthened Nanado's grip. As painful as it is, we should acknowledge, we should understand that the damage, the pain, the misrule, mismanagement, and everything that is happening in Ghana is not the fault of the NDC MPs. Yes. That said, my question, Mansa Musa, I am asking is that those MPs, for 30, 32, 35, 40 MPs who defy the whip, the party whip, to vote how they like, should they be pardoned? Should they be pardoned, as they say? And some people are saying, yeah, they should be pardoned. Others are saying, well, they have not even acknowledged, those people, those individuals, those MPs have not even acknowledged that they've done anything wrong, or they've not come out to say, look, we are sorry or anything. They haven't apologized. So that being the case, why should they apologize? You see? So that is the question, because honestly speaking, NDC, if they make themselves a toothless bulldog, so to speak, if they are just hanya, if they are just shouting and barking and behaving like lions, but they don't have teeth, then that is a problem, because obviously some action must be taken, a sort of recrimination, or a sort of reprimand, a sort of consequence should come out of this for those who defy the party whip. I think everyone agree with this. So if that consequence can later on decided that those people should be pardoned, fair enough, we will maybe say, grudgingly, all right, fine. But just to keep quiet that, and pretend that this particular impasse or this particular problem will pass, will go away, it isn't proper. It isn't proper. Because, look, I will tell you from the bottom of my heart that if you are going on a battle, right? If you are going on a battle, going for war, or you are at the battlefront, you have to believe and trust the man on your left, your right, the man in front of you, and the man behind you. Your people that you are walking towards the enemy to go and fight, you got to have a full belief, full trust. If you don't have, you are in trouble. If personally or as a collective, you don't have the trust and belief of individuals in that group, you are in trouble. And so it is not, proper for the NDC to carry along a baggage, a rotten, smelly baggage, which, they would rather have thrown away somewhere. And yet, because of maybe fear of ruffling feathers or causing more mayhem, they are afraid to act. My question tonight is that those people who, defied, I would say, betrayed the party lines, should they be pardoned? While they are not even come out to admit any wrongdoing. This is Mansa Musa, and the program is Fire Will Burn You. Wherever you are and whatever you are doing, kindly share the video. That is the Facebook and the YouTube. As for YouTube, when you go to NFM, it's rather New Face Media. One word, New Face Media. Then you can find us on YouTube, New Face Media. As for Facebook, you just write NFM Radio. 2 words, NFM Radio. And you'll find us there. Try, like, and share. Subscribe to the YouTube. Mansa Musa, he be here. You go hear the rightful news or the rightful proper discussions without any innuendos of equalization or anything. Because what I do is that during the time of Mahama, I blasted and lambasted Mahama's administration without referring to Kufuor's, misdeeds. Even though at the time we knew that Kufuor had done so many things wrong, I just lambasted Mahama's administration. I didn't do any equalization. So this time along, I'm not forced, I'm not obliged to come and equalize like everybody does or some people do. Look, if the thing is wrong, it's wrong. It's coming from NDC, I'll say it. It's coming from MPP, I'll say it. That is Mansa Musa for you. Fire will burn you. For the sake of everybody, I have to say that if and when you want to phone in on my mobile, the studio lines to discuss issues, don't be afraid, don't be shy. Look, if you don't understand somebody's language, for me, it's nothing too great or too shameful about it. You can call me to speak Hausa, Aigbe, Ga, or Akan. And I will let you speak any language you want. Fire Burn You got started. Join in. So my question, my deliverance tonight is that the question I'm saying is that yes, it is true. We have to acknowledge, we have to agree that the problems that is being, the Ghanaians, the suffering that they are suffering or Ghanaians are suffering, the problems they are going through, all the happenings, the damage being done to Ghanaians is not the fault of the NDC MPs at all. It's not the fault of the NDC MPs in the parliament. That much we all agree. We have to call a spade and tell where we think the fault is coming from. And we can all safely agree that the problems, the economic mismanagement, the high corruption, the lies and the half-truth and everything, the shamelessness with which, officialdom is going about our resources and the rest of it. It is Nanado's administration, the NPP in power, they are causing the trouble, giving Ghanaians more problems. That much we all understand. But what I'm asking is, recently, the NDC MPs in the parliament decided to, defy their whip and voted. Some of them voted to strengthen Nanado. My question is that maybe well and truly they believe quietly and secretly they trust Nanado and they like Nanado. So with that, in mind, should the NDC hierarchy carry all these people along into the election time? I totally, Mansa Musa, maybe I'm a minority of one, but I will still have to say that I don't agree. Before any sort of pardon or some sort of understanding, letting the sleeping dogs lie and the rest, before the NDC will forget about this particular episode, I am thinking that at least those people who defy the party's whip and did what they did, I think at least those people should be made to account to their, to what they've done. Own up. And if they say, okay, we totally do apologize, then of course, I will just sit on the fence and see what happens. But until then, I don't think it is right for the party to keep quiet over this and hope that it goes away. That won't be a proper functioning executive of any party. Let's go and listen to this man called Listowell.
I'm telling you, I'm looking into the camera and telling you, say, you are the joke of the century. You are the joke of the century. And sit down. Say you be or buy, say you see a trap by a VM. And see BM. You are the joke. It is a me case is via. Say, and then a coup for the outside down. Or per crowd one electoral commissioner. Offer the year and the deputy. Offer a Gabi as a Rotterdam. Edison, no offer Professor Tibedia to Uncle Femi, Professor Tibedia to you. One funny person, our young one bush are falling na young for no form of electoral commission or Abna Kofi Yow Abena on so many now from Kubu. Abaya between MPP being on my way above. Obi any one work na hanu a wo MPP say and na MPP o ko fa Jesus Christ ko fa Muhammad komsani Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam e bet na o say Jesus and a flag bearer komsani Muhammad and a running mate yen to aba in the name of MPP omo be report for the first time in the history Jesus name Muhammad be was Yandia, Yantiasu Prim. At a tea, no, how they have been a dear for the Diacomuno. May Captain, he will be the best of the joke of this century. He should dare. And he bra, Yadiba Twabano. And to maybe this emergency for her or Park for the name quiet electoral commissioner. Sabani ever to police station. I never got to electoral commission. Ever to police station. You and your dear, or pa.
NFM Radio,
No. I am not getting into all those things, but it is failing. And you people should be asking them why they are failing. If you are given a chance to govern and you fail, don't expect to continue to govern. And that's not just for the new patriotic party, it's for every political party. We don't, democracy is not just about elections. You elect so that people can govern, so that they can improve the people's welfare. But if you've been an abject failure, where we have a situation where, quote unquote, the fundamentals have all gone wrong, why would you actually be wasting so much time talking about beyond or breaking the age? You have not achieved your task, and the failure to achieve your task is enough to jettison you from office.
You think the finance minister should...
Well, no. I am not getting into all those things, but it is failing, and you people should be asking them why they are failing.
Oh, those words that I hate to say, coons and buffoons, used against people of color for years in the times of slavery. In those days when children, babies, were torn away from their mothers' breasts, when brother was turned against brother and sister against sister, when father and mother and child were sold to different bidders. In those painful years, for fear or for some little favor, one brother would say unkind things about another, so that master would whip that brother in public, and the one who reported him gets the crumbs off their table. Beware, African leaders, for you are falling into this trap again. You've been to school, so don't be a fool. Think before you speak to the oppressor. Why would one leader, why would the head of one household rise from his household into another household, only to go and gossip and speak ill of their neighbor, their brother? What do they get? Why, in a time when all are saying, or of course a few are saying, hey, please don't beg, because when you beg, you disgrace us all, does one go to say unkind things about another, to one no better than the oppressor, so that he can get a favor? Think about it. You see, when you say people do not respect leaders, it is not that they don't respect leaders, they don't respect titles. For leadership is in what you do. Remember, there are no permanent friends, only permanent interests. Think.
Right, you are listening to Mansa Musa. The program is Fire and it's now 29, yes, so 30, 8:30 here in the UK. I guess it's 7:30 in Ghana. The program is Fire will burn you from every Mondays to Saturdays. As the lady will say, NFM Emudaho.
NFM Radio Emudaho. Listen to Fire Will Burn You on NFM Radio with Mansa Musa, Monday to Saturday, 7 p.m. to 10 p.m.
Okay, Osibisa, thank you very much. Now then, let's get some things very clear indeed. The recent shenanigans, or the recent happenings in the Ghana's parliament, where the NDC side once again, so to speak, failed to live up to their billing or the expectations that some very minority or very few number of them decided to vote against the party's will, and by so doing they strengthened Nanado's hand. But before we go into that again, we have to make it clear for all Ghanaians to know it's a fact. It is not someone trying to push or put some ideas into anybody's head. The fact of the matter is the suffering, the problems, the high taxes, the mismanagement, the high corruption indexes, the shameless and shameful manipulation of our resources, or the whole governance system. Everything that is happening in Ghana, which anyone will say, oh, this is bad, those things that are happening, it's not the fault. We have to admit, it's not the fault of the NDC, how do we call it, MPs. Damage being done to Ghana is not because of the NDC MPs at all. We have to acknowledge that all the problems, all the damage, all the suffering, the taxes upon taxes that are coming, that in spite of the NDC MPs in Parliament, their effort, whether it's their efforts is good enough or not, it isn't because of NDC MPs that Ghanaians feel, they feel the impact of this misruling. So that have to be made, that have to be said, that all the problems that Ghanaians are facing, it is not the making of NDC MPs. We have to keep hammering this point that irrespective of the perceived failures of NDC MPs in the parliament, which some of us, I personally believe it is. I mean, it is right for us to criticize the NDC people in parliament. Maybe we can say they are not effective and the rest. Yes, it's true. Maybe they are not effective. But the actual, the reason for things that Ghanaians don't want, the reasons for such mismanagement, thievery, such misrule, such, everything that is bad that is happening in Ghana is not the fault of the NDC MPs in Parliament. We have to call a spade and put the blame where it should lie. And that blame should go to Nanado and his administration. Nanado and his people have borrowed and borrowed and borrowed. There was not much the NDC MPs could do or can do. There's not much at all. You see, sometimes I even find it surprised that the NDC hierarchy or the NDC fraternity comes around to praise the achievement, if we can call it that, of electing the speaker from one of their own. That speaker, in the big scheme of things, have not done anything. It hasn't changed Ghana and Ghanaians' destiny. It hasn't at all in the big scheme of things. Even the NDC people cannot say that, okay, because the speaker is from their fold, they have won something. They haven't won anything because the speaker hasn't made any difference at all. Look, the same heavy payment that they would have given to Michael Quay is the same heavy payment they are giving him. And he cannot stop the NPP people from attaining everything or anything they want to attain. So even that speakership thing is not any big achievement. You see? So we have to accept and acknowledge that the suffering being, the Ghanaian, the suffering that is put on Ghanaians at the moment is not because of NDC MPs. The NDC MPs do what they can, but it is Nanado and his government who are bringing in the taxes. Nanado and his government, it is they who are borrowing. It is they who are sharing the monies. It is Nanado's administration that the Auditor General will announce the loss of monies or unaccountable sources or monies not being accounted for and the rest. That Nanado doesn't seem to care. Nobody questions that situation. It is not the NDC MPs. We have to agree. It is Nanado's government that has overborrowed. It is Nanado who spends so much lavishly, so much. Nanado was the fella who, in his first period, decided to engage or to nominate so many MPs, ministers, to bring in so many ministers, so many. It is Nanado and his party and his government which has borrowed Ghana into the ditch. They have mismanaged Ghana. So as much as we can be angry or annoyed with the NDC MPs, we have to also know that the suffering of Ghanaians, mismanagement, if it was all good and rosy, if everything was going on nicely, no one was going to praise the NDC people in parliament. Were you? No. If things were going right, Nanado and his people, they would have taken, or they would take all the credit. They wouldn't say, oh, the NDC MPs in the parliament did well, so they should also be given the credit. No. So if suffering, if mismanagement, if despair, everything, frustrations abound, the fault is from Nanado and the MPP and the MPP MPs in parliament. Having said that, my main question for tonight is that what do you expect the NDC hierarchy to behave? Because from where I'm sitting, I have a feeling that the NDC hierarchy will want to sit this out. That means sit quietly and hope that this particular disgrace, this embarrassment of voting to strengthen Nanado by their parliament, some of their parliamentarians, I'm thinking that they just want to sit quietly so that this go away. This goes away. But that wouldn't be a good management of a political party. I think something has to be done to those who, defied party whip. Because for what they have done, they have strengthened Nana Akufo-Addo's hand. And secretly and quietly, who knows? Maybe some of them admire Nanado. Some of them like Brian Champong. And as for those who come in, whose message or explanation is that, it's because of friendship. For goodness sake, the least we talk or make such pronouncement, the better. It sounds so archaic. It sounds so yesterday. It sounds so crude and rude. For anyone to say that, don't blame the MPs so much, we all have friends. Hey, because I don't know. It is still a moon who say, omo mu bu omo maya omo mfa obinyonko. embu oman no a omo de na ekọ omo anim no yehu ana yehu yenim how don't we feel that the nepotistic attitude or the nepotism, the obinyonko, I know this, who knows me type of governance, governance does not bring any progress. Haven't we still realized? Haven't we? So those people, either MPs or politicians who say, oh, because they are girlfriends, goodness me. Now, mo dear Grana Hamo, Ubabroni Kromwa. We have friends across, if you go to the Houses of Parliament. I know in the 90s, we had one MP for, in fact, he's deceased now, he's died, he's dead. Mr. I've forgotten his name. Oh, very, very vociferous, left wing politician. I've forgotten his name. Very left wing. And he actually did support Chelsea. He was very good friend with one MP who is a conservative. They were doing fierce attacks in the parliament against each other. But when it comes to Sunday or football time, they all go and sit in the VIP section at Chelsea football grounds and watch their beloved Chelsea. They were good friends. But when it comes to business matters in the parliament, they don't do friends. If we are failing to grasp this, if we are failing as a people to understand, this sort of how do I say it? This culture of doing things formally, of doing the right thing because you have to do, not because someone is a friend or a family person. That is what is destroying Africa. And one would have thought that people who have been voted in the parliament, such people are supposed to be very brainy, very, 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 intellectually higher than all of us. People who have learned from A to Z and in between. They will come out and say, oh, because sometimes it's because of friendship. That one alone would have given you the sack. That comment alone, in Europe and America somewhere, the voters won't vote for you again. If you go to Parliament or the Senate or anywhere to go and vote, depending because somebody else is your friend, la, that is wrong. But in Ghana, we say it as though it is a virtue. It is something that should be admired. Dem kwasa sebukura na ekoso sa MP4 anymore mukoto aba editia mo party na uwia wa ba ka kire Ghana for say oh so onim say ye unza anyonkosam na de eye jimisam. You can have all the degrees in this world, but this is what, if this is your thinking, what Jimmy? Because everywhere, you see, we haven't started this world. We haven't started, let's say, 1,000 years ago, where so many things were just experiments, everything by human beings. We are at a stage where everything has happened before. And so we got to learn from what we see and what we read about. So if we have parliamentarians who will vote and they won't come out, or they can't come out with any better explanation except to say, oh, they have friends within, that one alone disqualifies them for being MPs. I will tell you for free, if we really want to develop, we don't have to see one another as enemies or look into each other's eyes and think you are an enemy. No. We don't have to do that. But we have to work to the book, to what the rules say, to what the laws say, to work with our conscience. That you belong to a group that group is made up of about 100 people. Surely there's going to be differences in opinion or, the way to go about things. It's not possible to get everybody to agree to the collective decision. It is not possible. But the moment the collective has agreed on a certain way, on a certain path, to do certain things in a certain way, then it falls on the whole group. It becomes an obligation for the whole group to adhere to that decision. You can't say that you belong to the NDC, you are a member of NDC, and you are a parliamentarian, and your party has decided that, look, this time around, whatever it is, whether we are right or wrong, we want you to vote not to nominate or not to approve Akufo-Addo's nominations. Period. That is our line. You don't go and defy it and say, because of friendship, and it is nonsense. Because people think that it's only when it is about money. If someone was bribed, that is the worst thing. No, it's not only about money. The fact that you are going to defy your own party's decision or directives because of friendship, that is even worse. You are not qualified enough to be where you are. I will tell you for free. So whenever I watch Ghanaian TV, radio, and other programs, and I hear this sort of explanation and quasi-defensive comments coming from others. They know each other. These people, they drink together. They go to church together. They were at Chimota. Some will say we were in school together at the University of Ghana. Blah 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 blah. Fine, but that disqualifies anybody that will vote. Look, I told you a story, and this story happened in 1973, 74, 75. That a teacher gathered all of us. A teacher gathered all of us to select the class prefect. In fact, I was in Form 3, I think, and that class prefect will automatically become the school prefect the following year. So it was a big deal. And usually teachers, those days, they don't select people because they like them or because the girl has developed big buttocks or anything. No. They are always very conscious of what they are doing those days. So they select people, for them, they believe the people have the ability. So Mansa Musa was one of the people selected to come to stand in front of the class, to be voted on, if I can be the class prefect. I remember, I will never forget this. My very lanky supporter, the guy who is following me doing all the silly things everywhere all the time, a good friend called Dansu. So they will ask everyone, the class, why do you want to vote for Yusufu Adama? Then you explain, Yusufu Adama is a good guy. He plays football very well. He's always active in sports. He's always respectful to the teachers, blah, blah, blah. Okay, good. They ask Danso, why do you want to vote Mansa Musa as the class prefect? He said, because he's my friend. Oh, Jesus Christ. The teacher walked me back to my seat. For that reason, I cannot be one of them. That was a long time ago. Dansu said, innocently or foolishly, that because Mansa Musa is my friend, I want to vote him as Christ. And the teacher walked me to sit down in my seat. I cannot be prefect. Now, fast forward to 2023, and MPs are using friendship as an excuse to defy their own parties. Namabu Bodam. Hello.
Hello, Mansa Musa.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Are you? NFM Radio.
Yeah, Mansa Musa, this is Joe.
Joe, NFM Radio.
And then what do you want me to say?
You see, Joe, you come here keep long, You come here keep long, Okay. for your sake, because I like you, you be nice man, and has the saying Ghana, because you are my friend, I will play this one for you, so at least you will understand now the new greetings here. So listen.
Yeah,
NFM
it's also
Radio,
because my
NFM Radio, Emudaho. NFM Radio, Emudaho.
Yo,
yeah.
NFM Radio.
Emudaho.
Now you are talking. Now you are talking. Now you are talking.
Well, I think I can be forgiven because I'm speaking with you from Ghana. So I've been to Ghana and then I've not been listening. That's why.
Okay. I think I can see your number is reading the 44. That means it's true. You are speaking from Ghana. Anyway, yes, Akwaba, I had boko yenko.
Yeah, that was it for the opportunity. Mansa Musa, I've listened to you and I've also read some of your messages. In as much as I can, let me say good evening to your listeners and those watching you on Facebook.
NFM Radio,
in as much as Mansa Musa, we can all express our disappointment and all that with the NDC caucus in Parliament for what they've done. I think Mansa Musa, sometimes we also have to be a bit lenient on them. It is because it's now looking as if someone had gone to commit a crime and they are asking their neighbors why they sat down there and allowed them to commit the crime. But when you were going to commit a crime, you didn't tell your neighbor you were going to commit a crime. Are you getting it? Yes, the NDC has had a stand that, look, we are not going to endorse any more of Nanado's ministerial appointees. But unfortunately, they've been endorsed. But then the question is, everybody is disappointed with the NDC MPs. But the question is, why are we not blaming the one who is the appointer, the one who made the appointment? Why is it that the numerous calls for Nanado to reduce the size of government has fallen on deaf ears? Yet we are not angry about that. But all of a sudden we are angry with the NDC for endorsing Nanado's appointment. We had the chance to say no to Nanado in 2020. We went there and voted for him again. So why are we now blaming the NDC as if the NDC is the pain in the ass of Ghanaians? Yes, we are suffering. The country is in a real mess. You can't see any good thing happening. But the NDC cannot be held solely responsible for the plight of the country. The party had a stand, and you should know that as a political party, there are people within the party who would have parochial interests. Mansa Musa, you sit on there, you have your own interests on that radio station. Whether it is good for the radio station or it is bad for the radio station, only at one point would we all realize it. And so for me, I feel, yes, I express disappointment. I will be a hypocrite and a coward if I say I wasn't angry with the NDC. I am still bitterly angry with the NDC minority caucus who went on there. But then the point now is that you don't even know who voted for those ministerial appointees. And so your anger goes nowhere. But let us all try to come together and point it right to Ghanaians and point it right to everybody. That look, the opportunity that availed itself in 2020 once again await for us in 2024. Whether we are angry about the appointment being endorsed or whatever, 2024 avails unto us another opportunity. And that is the time we need to show. Because during that time, we have a leader who says he's going to reduce his promise of reduction. Is not as a matter of nominating people to be vetted as ministers and the opposition saying we don't want them. He has said drastically he's going to reduce the numbers. That should be fulfilling for us. That should be a dream come true for us as Ghanaians. That at least in 2024 we're going to have a country with at least less than 80 or 90 ministers. That should be fulfilling. And so for me, Mansa Musa, I agree with you in one way or the other that there's too much friendship in parliament, there's too much friendship in governing our state. It shouldn't be like that. Because I have said, Mansa Musa, I have said that look, I can forgive anyone who voted for Nanado in 2020 and 2016. I can forgive anyone. But anyone who voted for Nanado in 2020 should be treated as a criminal and needs to be arrested. Yes, because you know why? Look, they say everyone has a right to belong to any political party. And so everyone also has a right to do whatever they want to do. But when some people choose to be armed robbers, they get arrested.
Yes.
And so if you also go to vote for an armed robber, you should be arrested.
Sure.
Because if I buy from an armed robber, I will be arrested because I'm condoning and conniving in that criminality. And so everyone who voted for Nanado in 2024 needs to be arrested because they are conniving and condoning with the criminality of Nanado now. And so when people talk about they have their right to belong to any political party and all that, yes, you have your right. But when your right infringes on the right of the sovereign will of Ghana and the sovereignty of Ghana, you need to be arrested for that.
Sure.
And that is what needs to happen. And so for me, I don't see that those NDC MPs, for all you know, those people also said that. But after all, Ghanaians voted for Nanado, they need to suffer. Because whatever you do, you suffer the consequence. If it is good, you benefit from it. If it is bad, you suffer. And so for me, I feel those MPs felt that those people who voted for Nanado in 2020 need to suffer the consequence. Mansa, let me tell you a story. In 2003, I was in Pristia. We were fighting, in 2005 rather. After Kofo had gone for his second term. Kofo sanctioned military men to come to Pristia to beat us. And when the military men were beating us, do you know what they said? They said, we are beating you because you voted for a stupid government. And so we've come to beat you to show you that you are stupid to have voted for this person. And so sometimes this is what happens. Mansa Musa, sometimes, and that's why in Ghana we say a foot through and satani, but this and sorry.
You be so.
And so when people are not listening to advice, you need to let them suffer. And so for me, I feel it is better we allow Ghanaians to suffer for them to know the difference between Mahama and Akufo-Addo. And so we should rather be grateful. But I feel, for me, I feel as an NDC member, and I want to urge all NDC members, go into your bedroom or your living room or your bathroom, stare in that mirror, look into yourself in that mirror, look at your shadow, look at whatever you see, the reflective of you, and ask yourself, would you be better when given the opportunity? Would you be better than these people? Would you protect the public purse when given the opportunity to serve the country? Would you utilize every one Ghana city that is given you, just as John Mahama has done? Mansa Musa, I arrived in Ghana yesterday, and I saw the Terminal 3. Mansa Musa, if not for anything, I am happy as a Ghanaian, because at least the Terminal 3 is far better than what Nigeria has. Nigeria has more resources than Ghana. The Terminal 3 is better than what South Africa has. And so I am proud. And for that matter, for John Mahama to have built that, I am happy. Unfortunately, my wife, who is also very close to the MPP, told me that nothing has happened in Ghana, and I'm very happy. Because for 8 years or 6 years, Akufo-Addo has been in power. My wife, who is an MPP, said nothing has happened in Ghana. and that is the moral justification. You know, you cannot allow the devil into your house and think something good is going to happen. The devil is very destructive. He will destroy. And that is what we've witnessed. And so, Mansa Musa, I plead with you, kindly, I know you don't mince your words, but kindly forgive the NDC MPs. Let us all forgive them.
Forgive them for doing what?
Well, for endorsing those ministerial.
Well, you see, this is where I disagree with you. It is not like, someone doing something, right? And I remember very well when we were in the military training, especially, whenever someone does something wrong, the instructors will come and ask who did it, who went to town to harass somebody and the rest of it. And, to show camaraderie, nobody will own up and nobody will tell on your comrade. You don't have to do that. So the instructors, if it's beating, they will beat everybody. If it's whipping, they will whip everybody. If it's drilling on the parade ground, they will drill everybody. You see. Now, if you transport that to the national grid as it is, most people are angry at those MPs who voted in that way. Now, some people want recrimination. Some people say, okay, those people, will vote against them or others. But because they are quiet and we don't know who did it, the suspicion is on almost everybody, except with the exception of a few that people will say, well, as for this one, I know he or she will not do this. So until those people own up to the party hierarchy, they own up and say, look, whatever you want to do to us, but we have wronged. So we have made a mistake. So please, either you do something or maybe we can apologize. Then at least we know where we are going. But for the party, I will tell you, let me tell you, Joe, for the party to sit down and pretend that, oh, this will go away. This is not good management of political party. This is not. That one I will tell you.
Yeah, Mansa Musa, because I am somewhere, I might be distracted by noise. But what I'm trying to convey across is that, look, yes, those MPs, by being so cowardized and being so hypocritical and not coming out to express that, look, I am bold to say I voted for these people, it's an expression of them feeling that they did the wrong thing. Because even if the party is going to crack the whip, who are they going to whip? The party has nobody to whip. Because out of that 130 something, everybody is talking about treachery. Everybody is talking about whoever voted has done great harm to the party or to Ghanaians. So who has owned up? Nobody. And so for us, it is for us to forgive them in our hearts and believe that they themselves, being so coward like that and not being able to own up, it's an expression of them being sorry. And
of guilt.
Yeah.
You mean expression of guilt? No. You see, I totally agree with you.
They are already guilty.
Joe, let me I'm still repeating myself, but you don't seem to understand me. I'm saying, to manage a political party, this I will tell for free. It is not right to just let go.
How do you manage a political party when you don't know the people who are wrong?
Hey, they should know. Goodness me, they should know. No, Joe. You and I, we sit outside. Look, the moment this happened, I sent out questionnaire to about 3, 4, 5, 6 people. 3 people sent me with their photo.
I'm at a place.
I'll be distracted. Oh, okay. No worries. Listen, let's talk again. You take care. Take care.
All right.
You. All right. That's Joe. Joe is calling all the way from Accra. Joe is in UK here, and I think he's gone to Ghana for some short holidays or so. And he's always, on his how do I say it? He stays on his point of view and makes sure that he defends his point. I totally agree with him that some sort of agreement or understanding should be reached. But listen, look, I'm telling the NDC for free. You are going to go into an election for the past few weeks, or let's say the whole of this year, I can even say that the whole of this year, the people supporting NDC and even some neutrals have been very happy with development. I mean, they've been on top. Everywhere from diplomatic missions to world leaders to other African bloggers and all the places Rutu say, acquire tree, Ghana and the economy and the whole lot of those things. So for some of the MPs to do this, who knows that some of them actually admire Nado? Who knows? And so if you have these, do you really have to carry them along without even not knowing? This is not right. And if the team, the hierarchy has no balls, they don't have the strength or the willpower to make sure they clean up the system. Jesus Christ. Muntu majunimu. Yusuf, hello.
NFM Radio.
Emudaho.
Comrade, what to say?
Me de tambia me huye. Tambia every time. Honey.
Now, if I say is MPs, you know, in fact, is there no suggestions now Baba out to say names Biaba, those you've just sort of said these are the MPs that did that. We don't know them, and up to now they've not come forward. In fact, it's very sad. But what they did, all I can say is that, you know, they have betrayed the party, and I don't think the party should forgive them. We have to set a precedent. The party executive would have to do something. I'm pleading with General Mosquito, the current chairman, to take the necessary action. All the party organs that are in charge of disciplinary, and go through the constitution and see where they are liable, and then, you know, bring them to book. Because, you know, this is totally unacceptable. It's ridiculous what they did. You know, this has tarnished the image of the party. And this party is not a joke. As former President, may his soul rest in peace, Jerry said, he said this party was born with fire. And we cannot play with fire. NDC is fire. If they think they can just come and do whatever they want and go, you know, just the way they want.
NFM Radio.
They have used the party's brand. NDC is a brand, the party's brand, the logos, to promote themselves. Now they think they can just sit anywhere. When they started their MP shape, you know, before they became MPs, is that how they were? They were so humble. But now they know they've, you know, sort of amassed wealth, they can do whatever they want. Well, what we are saying is totally unacceptable. General Mosquito, our chairman, will have to do something about this. That's all I can say for now.
Right. Yusuf, thank you very much indeed. Thank you for your contribution. I hope that those with good ears will listen and the writing will be done. Because for nothing at all, those, the grassroots, those diehards, they are not difficult to convince to have patience and have calmness and forgive and forget. They are not. Those that are difficult to, come across and convince again are the neutrals, or, the proper neutrals, or even some MPP people, those, who have deep conscience and would like things to change. Those people have been, completely, how do I put it? People they have been confused now. It's like people are in a confused state. Now, that sort of thing. And so, if the NDC hierarchy is going to sit down and say, because up to now, we haven't heard anything from anyone that, look, we are investigating what happened, or we have constituted a panel to maybe call the MPs to a meeting, general meeting, or this and that and that. We haven't heard anything. And what some feel is that, they are sitting, as the expression goes, they are sitting this out, hoping that it will go away. Well, we shall see. Yusuf, thank you very much for your
Comrade, one more thing that I've just remembered I want to chip in. It won't take a long time. Okay? The thing is, can I go ahead?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. You know, something is going on right now in UK regarding the Labour Party, and I just read it. You know, the former party leader, that is Jeremy Corbyn, because of his comment, anti-Semitism, and all these things, he was booted out of the party.
Yes.
And now he wants to come back. You know, he went to Islington. He's an MP at the Islington there, as an independent candidate, still parliament. He wants to come back to Labour. Can Starmer, who is the current district chairman, you know?
Yeah, he's the new leader, yeah.
They stood against him. He's trying to come back. They are trying to tell him that you did this, you tarnish the image of the party, and we don't want you back. So I think, party politics is not a joke.
Yeah, the thing is, whether, you support what we call it, Jeremy Corbyn or not, you see, if you support it, you say, oh, maybe they are being harsh. But at least the party is showing, leadership, is showing concern, showing, they are not sitting it out quietly. No. I mean, we will see. We will see what happens anyway. We'll see.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, too. Thank you.
Yenam top connect so emani sika de bagana if we asia fana nyina yentia ka pre ane aye free top connect amasika manie ayemre kra ye wo hia ne se wo be download wo top connect app no e wo Play Store dia ma wo Android phone ana se wo use iPhone so a ko Apple Store na download the top connect aye simple kra top connect wa man be bro aduonum so wo Europe North America and Asia wo mane wo dofo sika fa top connect so a aye ntem na emre na mawa hoto so sese die sika manye di foforo kra any top connect so we hia chechemu bia Fred Top Connect our +442 081 6155 and a +442 081 761 600 +447 882 950 088 and nasa hwehwe Top Connect our Belfont interfidie nyina so Top Connect Fesika mane wa dofo asumdiem a wontia kapre Top Connect yensu ye die
Oyezu oyeza munua NDC nya ewo United Kingdom na Ireland chapter da mabri so michia na menyu ba bezian abato ho nkomo dem awore enyim na oka kakra na yakoto abaye ze yan mpenyufo a wobohwe party do wo da mi chapter ya mezi ho nkomo na menyu ba bezi chairman akwa no ho nkomo da mabri chairman akwa kampenyufo a wo ejina there to wando abana wombe chairman nemu chairman akwade ojina ho prekope enti mesraw de ebo to waba na eza ma chairman akwa na wabe chairman bo United Kingdom and Ireland chapter usane de okitan hihye bebre a yame na dom na so be chairman a opede ozuboa awa eye member bo United Kingdom na Ireland na NDC party ni na da na dom hihye no mu binyi the establishment of a welfare program. Dem welfare program no mu mfaso benyi abrebiara NDC nyi ehwehwem bo wo sekasama fem bibi kakre bi a ezeboto to nzama wa abra ahokyira aba no dem welfare program e bohwe na wonsa ka bibi kakra ofi £50 zuko £400 na enyesika etum ebotua eyi ye chairman akwana adwe na opede odzeboa NDC ibiso nyi de NDC member biara obenya any immigration issue ana mbrem nsemi biara wo bibia otena wo United Kingdom ana Ireland chairman akwa establish mpenyumfo a wobetena ho na wahwe na advice biara oyembra kono do na wodi amaw impo se pelo yenyi bi na wejina na waka wasem bi amaw wo United Kingdom ha ana Ireland da mpenyumfo yi wo mu binom ye lawyers a wobotum wejina ma amaw na waji bibi kakra bi wa bra wobotum wa abo na wo bibiara so akodo welfare program kuriyara su ya chairman akwa opede ozubo boazi ɔno so bɛhwɛ na yɛn nuanom a wɔwɔ United Kingdom na Ireland nyinara awon a wɔyɛ into event organization photographers awon a wɔhyehyɛ biribiara amanfo yɛ wɔn parties wɔn weddings ne nyinaa ɔbɛka wɔn nyinara abom dɛ ma ɔbɛyɛ a NDC member biara a ɔbɛnya any event dɛ ɔyɛ wedding outdooring biribiara no wetu nwa abɔboɔ no wayɛ ama no wabra a ɔnkɔtua sika te dɛ ma ɔkaka fo obi wɔ paado ana nkyɛn bi na wabɛyɛ dɛm ade no ama no kyɛma na akɔ na ne mpanyimfo so bɔhwɛ na abere biara any welfare ana any social issue biara a ɔba affect any member biara no ɔbɛba ɔbɛpue wɔakyi na biribiara ɔdɛ wɔdze mmɔwo ana biribiara ɔdɛ wɔyɛ na wɔdze boa wo program wakɔdo no wetum wayɛ ndam na ahomka waba welfare program yi yɛ biribia sɛ nyamoboɔ no sɛ chairman akwa ɔbɛyɛ chairman wɔ United Kingdom na Ireland a no mu nsɛm kakra na meputu ho dza akyerɛ wi ɔdze bɔbɔ agye na wɔda aboa awo member na ɔda aboa yɛn NDC mpe yi na ɛpɛ benaze munua NDC nya ɛwɔ United Kingdom na Ireland to waba former chairman akwa nyamoboɔ no sɛ ne nsakadze biw na ɔno so obegyina na wahwɛ dɛ mama aka nyinara ɔdze bɛyi dwuma na party na akɔ n'enyim.
National Democratic Congress NDC emu nyamfo ma ne mema mo UK ni Ireland chapter no ya yedie nie ya na so say ye beto aba eji chapter chairman fofo ya hwede chi ne mu mrukoto on so e nyamfo Dr. Joe Ajimai the restoration man e fata say edi party no enim kan odi amonyesema kotine yie ne wetu ne huesi wa ofoma soro nkoso woni mu adwumade de e fa ne hotitiru na esine nan so nwumade bebre no de egu akwemu a obeye de amaye bi ni se o sigina ye esiko no dwumade bia be kire party office na odisika 3 pounds empemenum na ato ase eye 5,000 pounds osantwe mabuo ne mama ho so 1,000 pounds na ebe hye omudwumade mu kena na esigina ye dodon so a be kire afoforo omobetro omudin abeka party ne ho de omombra kura o omonse beka omudin card ententem so na atwe adom abeka ye ho eye bosome miense bia nso party mu mpanimfu a odi dwumade be hye omonse bia no obeto safro omwatena se na de ye de hye omonse no omebu ho apontam mako wei di bebre na no be ya amayo onua se kwatre kwose be ma wontuma bisanidi ni Dr. Joe Ajimai, the restoration man, chapter chairman and Yantumano.
Right. Okay, that was party or personal political messages from Mr. Kwesiakwa and Dr. Joe Swajiman. Two of them that want to be, they are contesting to win the post of NDC UK chapter chairman. You know, each of them wants to be the chairman. You are listening to Mansa Musa. The program is Fire Benue, and tonight, as the MPs sit in Parliament, in fact, I just spoke to somebody quietly, and the fellow spoke to me anyway. He spoke with me, all right, but I later regretted calling him because he said, "Mansa Musa, do you know we are still in the Parliament?" I said, "Okay." So, you know, if I'd known that they are still in Parliament, I wouldn't have called. You know, it's not nice. So that's where we are. But the discussion is also, you know, centered around the recent happenings in Parliament. As we speak, there are new legislations or a new proposal by government to increase taxes left, right, and center. Alright, you go for it. Hey, I mean, sika bea na beba sa ban we nsem no mo tumi de bo man no. Sika bea, I mean, what sort of monies will it go for? So, in any case, they have to maybe pass this one too, because they say, you know, I say NDC parliamentarians, you know, not much is, you know, or trust, you know, every microphone. You know, they should do whatever. It shouldn't have been like this, you know. It shouldn't have been like this at all. That they know that the NDC will try to stop the government in its tracks when it comes to, you know, the way we are being governed, or the way we are, what do we call it, Ghanaians are being they are being what we call it. They are being burdened with heavy loads of taxes left, right, and center. So in the end, I am very sure that those taxes too will be approved. Asawasi MP Muntaka Mubarak has said extreme and entrenched partisanship in parliament risks plunging Ghana into the abyss. The former minority chief whip said on the floor of parliament that it was high time MPs on either side of the aisle worked in the country's interests. He said, and I reiterate or I quote, "We are taking so many extreme entrenched positions," he explaining both those in government and those in opposition, and this is not helpful at all. The earlier both sides began, bad English. The earlier both sides begin to realize the positions we take have an impact on the country or otherwise, the better for us. Under normal circumstances, so this is a good speak, this is a good comment. But Muntaka, shouldn't you ask the MP from the other side to say the same? Muntaka. Actually, it was Muntaka I called, and he politely responded that they are still in parliament. I wanted to speak to him. Muntaka saying that, both sides are adopting entrenched partisan positions is too bad for the country. Who would have expected the NPP MPs to be saying this? That look, the partisanship is too much. So Muntaka doesn't see that if Muntaka wants a proper governance, why doesn't he support staunchly his own party so that when they win power, they can come and show Ghana and Ghanaians how to govern properly? Muntaka and the people like this, it is the soul, the rot, the apple that is not good in the system. Very difficult to identify. He's still there. You can see and feel from his utterances that the guy doesn't see, the need to fight for his own side. If you say, when they were voting for the speaker, he was very active. Even the speaker, what has been the advantage or benefit to Ghanaians? Or even to the NDC party itself? So even that speakership has not brought about anything worth talking about. 0208 you be that say 0208 123 5911. I say 07876251261. Who frame ya mema yedin komo. Mansa Musa file burn you, and I'm discussing what has happened recently. The NDC MPs. What I'm saying is that I acknowledge, I agree. I do agree that the problems Ghanaians are facing is not the making of NDC MPs. The damage being done to Ghanaians is not by the NDC MPs. It is as a result of Akufo-Addo's governance. That is why people are struggling, people are suffering. So that one we must agree and must understand. But at the same time, when you are in a party and your party begins or tells you something to do, you got to follow and do it. Let me speak to this gentleman on the phone. If you leave me, for me, I talk for England. I can talk till tomorrow. Hello? Hello?
NFM Radio.
Emudaho.
Comrade, I just wanted to chip in this again and just to set me share a NDC4 in UK any Ghana na me show be en cry. Omo party no eda omo akoma so omo ye the right thing. Na ubiara man abamu because say you were SE is a matter of fact, to distract the party because we have a bigger task ahead, which is the 2024 election. Well, in fact, time is very, very important, hardworking, and we need money for the party. So there's a lot of work to be done for the 2024 election. And to no any distraction. It is a group of members being a better handler. Then the rest, we should focus on, what has to be done to boost our campaign strategies for the 2024 election. So I'm just saying that right now, regarding what is going on with the voting register in the UK here, which has slowed down the voting process, and we have not been able to vote until now. The CIC should do their best because even today I spoke to the secretary of the South London branch, and he said, well, looking at the old look. Are you done? Are you done?
Right, I was just about to speak to Accra, somebody.
Okay.
Unfortunately, the line has gone down, and also, for some reason, I have got my cleaner using the machine, so there's so much noise, so I'll go for a quick break, and when we come back, we'll come and continue.
Say dear, yenam top connect so e mani sika de bagana if we yasia fana nyina yenchia kapre. Ani aye free. Top connect amasika mani aye mrekra. Ye wuhia ne se wo be download the Top Connect app no e Play Store. Diama wo Android phone. And as we use iPhone so or Apple Store na download the Top Connect. Aye simple kra. Top Connect wa mind be radio num so wo Europe, North America and Asia. Wo mane wo dofu sika fa Top Connect so aye ntem na emre. Nema wa hoto so sese die sika manye di foforo kra any Top Connect so we yan chechemu bia for Top Connect our plus 442 081 6155 and a plus
Right. So this some of the days are like this, you know. You can hear the background, the noise. Apparently, big rain, and it has forced some flooding, caused some flooding somewhere, and it has rather permeated onto the corridors. So the landlord, as we call them here, has got a big wet vac, what we call wet vac or wet vacuum cleaner. You know, it is for sucking water. And that is very powerful but very noisy as well. So it's getting everywhere. It's getting into my ears and everywhere. So please bear with. I've seen the work the gentleman is doing very soon. Hopefully, the noise will die down. It will go down very soon, and maybe we can continue with our show. So please bear with. Like I said, very soon. I think he has even finished. He has started again. But then, it is like that. You are listening to Mansa Musa. Sometimes it's like this. We've got a very good, what do you call it, soundproof, you know, sort of thing, you know, soundproof material everywhere here. But the machine that the fellow is using is so powerful, you can hear the noise everywhere. It's unfortunate. Like I said, very, very, very soon he will finish with the vacuuming of the water on the floor. It's water coming everywhere in the corridor. Very luckily, it's not coming into our studios. Otherwise, we would have been in all sort of trouble. Listening to Mansa Musa, and the program is Fire Will Burn You. Hey, okay, thank you very much indeed. He said, Mansa Musa, keep the good work. Thank you. I will keep on.
NFM Radio with Mansa Musa, Monday to Saturday, 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. Minua, see fire will burn you. NFM Radio. Jumedia Mansa Musa ede bro. Ejuada kopem memneda. Enumre non song. Ekopem non do.
Right. Let's see if I can get Accra someone to talk to discuss matters with. If they can talk to me. If they cannot, we will move on. But there are certain things that needs to be discussed. You know, the big one is the elephant in the room. I don't know which is bigger. The fact that NDC UK Ireland cannot do their election, or the fact that NDC Ghana, some people are defying party rules to do their own thingy. Which one do you think is worse? You can call me to discuss. I tried to get Dr. Ahin. He looks after the NDC overseas issues, or deputy director of overseas issues. Unfortunately, I got him when he was driving, actually, and he had just arrived at the checkpoint. So hopefully, maybe, I don't know, maybe we'll get him to come and answer one or two questions. I've got another fellow, Mr. Fofana Ali. He is in France. He is the secretary. Okay. All right, thank you. Mr. Fofana is a communication officer of the NDC France branch, or Paris branch. Let's see if he can have a word or so in our conversation. I have to apologize to Mr. Yusuf. When he called, he wanted to say things, but because of the noise, as we speak, I've got Mr. Fofana on the line. Let me see if I can get him to come and say something about our discussion. Today will be the first time with Mr. Fofana Ali. Let's see. Hello, Mr. Fofana.
Hello, sir. Good evening.
Good evening. I got to know of you. I got your contact yesterday. You are a communications officer and you are based in France, right?
Yeah.
I see. What I will be very quick because I didn't, it is an impromptu call, so I'll be very quick with it. Before we carry on, there is a gentleman, I think one of your colleagues in UK2 has just phoned. So let's put him together. We make a good team to discuss. Let's see. 7177, hello.
Yeah, hello.
7177, is that, what's the name? King Edward?
Yeah, Mansa Musa.
Design?
Nyamiadon.
Okay. Yeah, branch war France, your friend Fofana Ali, only a communication officer for the NDC. And Wabaso. Now, who will be cancer menina Edin Komokakra?
Oh, so on me being Kabayana.
Well, yes. And who cancer no ya no correct.
Into the year only we are
Mati.
Okay, that's it.
Fofana, once again, good evening. Welcome to NFM Radio.
Thank you, sir.
So, what has happened had transpired in Accra, in Ghana, in the parliament. In fact, I just called Muntaka. In fact, I had forgotten that they were still in the parliament deliberating. Muntaka has said something or written something. It's on Ghana Web. Have you read it?
No, I haven't come across it.
Let me just give you a simple, it's nothing long at all, but he says, we are being too partisan. It could spell our doom, Muntaka warns. And it goes like this. As Sawasi MP, Muntaka Mubarak has said, extreme and entrenched partisanship in parliament risks plunging Ghana into the abyss. The former minority chief whip said on the floor of parliament that it was high time MPs on either side of the aisle worked in the country's interests. Then there is a quote here. So we are taking so many extreme entrenched positions, both those in government and those in opposition, and this is not helpful at all. Considering what has gone on, are you surprised that Muntaka is speaking like this? And does this mean, at least to you or to us, that he doesn't realize the damage that, maybe somebody like him not following the party whip, therefore not being entrenched in partisanship, as he says, maybe he doesn't realize the impact that has had on your core support and maybe on even neutrals. What do you think?
Yeah, actually, Mr. Mansa Musa, this issue is in the hand of the next, so I don't want to comment about it. Because the elder, they are discussing about it, so I don't want to comment about it.
Yeah, of course they are discussing it, but we are all part of the equation in Ghana as a party members or not. You should have your opinion about things that has happened. We can't say, we won't comment about it, as if we are afraid to say what is right or what should be said. After all, you can say something without, creating problem for yourself or for your party.
Yeah, actually, me personally, I'm very disappointed. I was very disappointed by, as we went to the meeting, we decided not to comment about it till they finish the investigation.
Yes, we don't have to attribute blame to any particular person. That is why they are doing the investigation. But in general, what has happened, nobody can, in a democracy, nobody can stop anybody for commenting that, look, this was good, this was bad, this should have happened, this shouldn't have happened. Instead of, do you think it's right to gag everybody, gag ourselves because some group of Mpenifo are talking about it? Is it for the party's sake, for Ghana's sake, or for the individual's sake? Fofana, what do you think?
Yeah, actually, what happened at the parliament is for it's because of individual sake. It's not for the party's sake, because to the extent that our flag bearer will come out to show his displeasure, it's individual sake, and I'm saying that they did it out of bitterness. That's my point of view.
Yeah, so even if we have to take yours that some of them did out of bitterness, shouldn't they? These people are supposed to be well educated, very brainy. They know what they're about and what they are there for. Shouldn't they have reasoned that action they took had rather strengthened their opponents? And shouldn't that be a worry for them?
Yeah, you are right. Actually, you are right. What you are saying, you are right. What they did. We lack words. All the executive members. We don't know what happens, what comes to their mind, because it's the same NDC MPs as talking about the large government of the MPP administration. So now, if we bring the ministers, to vote for them to continue their job, it doesn't make sense. But as I told you before, it's out of bitterness. I was saying it like me personally, at least for fun. I'm saying like a sabotage. There's the current member, the current leadership of the house. Because I heard people are saying to forcing this, to forcing that. That was what I'm saying.
Yes, but to sabotage, you see, I want us to have an open discussion. Let's say if that's what they are thinking, that we want to sabotage the new leadership. Why wouldn't they, or shouldn't they, or why didn't they realize that, look, if we do this, it's not only sabotaging the leadership, but sabotaging our own chances of winning the election. That is, you see my position. For me, we can ascribe any reasons for that action they took. But as a person, as a politician, as a thinking man, you should know or anticipate a result of what you do. You should be able to anticipate. Maybe you won't get it completely right, but you should know that, this thing has been done over and over and over. This world is now very, very old. We are not in maybe the 5th century after Christ. We are not in the very primitive Stone Age. These things has gone. We are in 2023. So this thing I'm doing, will it enhance my personal chance, my party's chance? What is it? Why do you think these people are not thinking like that? And they are thinking like me and you, like what we call free callers, or what do you call it, free callers? The serial callers. Why are they not thinking like thinking people?
I don't know, Mr. Mansa Musa. Actually, the youth are really disappointed in us, because people are very disappointed in us about what happened. When I listen to people, they are very, very disappointed.
When in Ghana, okay, we all have our constituencies in Europe, in Accra, London, and in Paris. But in Ghana, what is your constituency?
Ayawa's North.
Ayawa's North, I see. Yeah. Okay. And who is the current MP there?
No, it's an MPP man.
Okay. So at the moment, that one is easier to say, okay, there will be you want to fight for a new person. But if your NP is an NDC person, and suspicion is about them that they were one of the people who voted for Nana Akufo-Addo, surely it won't bode well for them, will it? What do you think?
Yeah, it won't bode, because me personally, if I find my MP or my MP this sector, I'll vote him out. I'll vote against him. If they go for the primaries, I'll vote against him.
I see. Now you are talking.
Yeah.
So you share the
I'll vote against such person, such MP. Yeah.
You share the same sentiments that some people are saying that if it is found out clearly those who did what, then those people will have to suffer the consequence. And I think rightly so. Anyway, your France, you've had your elections and you have your chairman, everything, right?
Yeah.
So what next? Because I don't know if I have to tell you this, that some people go on about this ROPA thing, but I will advise you for free, not you personally, but NDC people especially, that you shouldn't. It's like turkeys, voting for Christmas. I don't think ROPA or whatever will be good for NDC as a whole. What do you think?
Yeah, actually, now because we don't have sophisticated materials to control all the embassies. For now, I don't think it's good for us.
So you are not going to wait for it. If you are going to advise that if the time comes, go and register and go and vote in Ghana, is that right?
Yeah. That's the best thing.
You see, some people, I'll tell you, some people maybe naively a bit here in Europe, America. The Europa, we are ready for it. We are ready. I look at them and laugh. If you think, simple election in UK has become a problem because of suspicion of not vote rigging, but register stuffing or whatever. If you think that small one is creating such problems, imagine what the MPP can do. Even the so-called people in Togo, if they allow them to vote, they can still manipulate to get more people voting for MPP than ND. So you guys, especially those people vying for this ROPA people thing, you got to be very careful what you say, what you wish for.
You're right, Mr. Mansa Musa, because maybe those who doesn't have document it will favor them. They will be like, they can vote at the embassy. But if you have a document that you can go home, it's better you buy your ticket, you go home and you go and vote over there. Because the ROPA is not advisable. It will not favor us.
I'm happy that at least you agree with me on this one. Have you heard about the problems or the confusion here in the UK? Your party in UK, as we speak, they don't know, as we say in our local parlance, whether they are going or they are coming. Have you heard what is happening?
Yeah, I didn't. I just heard something, but I didn't hear all the story, because I spoke with, I was trying to call Chama Aqua. I was trying to call Chama Aqua to get some explanation. The last time you did a program, I was there on the Zoom, but I didn't stay for long. But up to now, I heard they didn't make their vote yet.
I see.
Yeah.
So, what do you think about everything? I mean, an election that was proposed for 3rd of December last year, as we speak, they don't have even a date. If you are to advise people, the NDC UK chapter, what would you say?
Yeah, what I would tell my comrade is to be patient. To come together and have a peaceful election. After all, we all are trying to work for one party. We are under one umbrella. We should just come together and make a peaceful and successful election. That's what I'm just calling for.
Okay, Mr. Fofana Ali, this was an impromptu call, so I can only express my appreciation for
thank you.
Your alertness, readiness, and availability in such a short notice. And I hope this won't be the last time you can share the link and everything to your people all over France.
Thank you.
For them to listen to Mansa Musa every time and anytime it's convenient to anyone to listen. You can phone in via the what we call the WhatsApp studio number or even my personal number, and I'll let them.
Sometimes whenever I'm trying to call you, the line is always busy. I always listen to your program, but always the WhatsApp line is always busy.
Well, if it is, the lines sometimes get very, very busy. Today, as we speak,
if you have some bypass line, I don't know.
Well, the bypass line will be this phone, this my private one. But sometimes when I'm speaking to someone in Accra, it's always via this phone, so it will be busy. But including this phone, there is going to be two other phones. So you just have including this phone, there's another phone which is WhatsApp. You see, and that one, if you call, I can swap quickly and let you speak if I know that the fellow is calling from France or something. You see, even now as we are speaking, I think Mr. Kwesiakwa tried to call, but he is calling this number I'm speaking with you on, and if I had taken his call, that means I would have cut you off. Whatever he wants to say, there are other two phone lines there for him to call, but he decided to call the same line that you are speaking on. So unfortunately, we can't hear what he wants to say. But I would like to thank you very much for this, contribution, and let's talk another time. Have a good evening. Have a good evening.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Bye.
That's a gentleman from France. He's called Fofana Ali. He is a communication officer. Mr. What is his name? King Edward Wofre. Someone's Linda Sen say NPP has planted a Muslim guy to contest in Medina. Just to break NDC's front in order to win. Please watch that space. So Medina, I think, is Sosu, and now they said the NPP has planted a Muslim. So that is a bit for them to outwit a non-Muslim. We'll see. Okay, we'll see what happens. Let me see if I can get this man I wanted to speak to in Accra. I tried, but I couldn't get him. If we can get him now. You are listening to Mansa Musa. The program is Fire Will Burn You. And I have to also add that it's not a proper real fire. It is conversational fire that if you joke, it's going to burn you. If you don't joke with it, it won't burn you. It will make you nice and warm, especially you those in Europe and America where in the temperate zones, temperate climates, you need warmth, so you need fire. In Ghana, it's already very hot, so you don't need fire. See what I mean? Take care of yourself and make sure you don't fall into any problems. Yes, this evening my discussion is all about what has happened in the NPP and in the Parliament of Ghana recently, where we had this NDC MPs defying the party whip to vote somehow. Hello, Kwesi.
Musa.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. Good evening. And you bring Michelle, Tiafujina.
All right, Tiafujio. So 1 second, mommy ready. Okay. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. I would like to, Michelle Tiafujina. I would like to ask the communication.
Well, friend, then, Kwesi, NFM Radio.
A muda.
Now you are talking. Now let's go.
Mansa Musa, and NFM Radio.
Emudaho, NFM Radio.
Musa, I would like to inform Fufana that he should call me either tonight or tomorrow. And I'll give him a full update of what is happening in our election.
Okay. Well, you can let us know as well. We all want to know the full update.
Oh, Mansa Musa, the situation we find ourselves as we speak is that the CIC, that's the Chapter Interim Committee, give a deadline, which ended on the 29th, for all the individuals and the branches who have an issue to submit their report on the provisional list. My branch, for instance, they met me and I told them that I want to plead with them to submit their problem request, which the leadership in Sheffield has done. So I hope and wish that all the other branch leadership might have also done the same. Musa, what is happening is that the data which went to the Chapter Electoral Committee for them to do what you call data analysis on the individual good standing was submitted by the branch executives. It was not submitted by individual candidates. Okay? So even if there's a problem on the provisional list, the onus is on the on the branch executives to liaise with the Chapter Electoral Committee or the CIC to make sure that they receive complaints from the leadership within the branches so that they can engage them. So I think we've done that. And the 29th, I think, passed. That was 2 days ago. So hopefully maybe they are reviewing their data of the provisional list. And when they finish, I believe they'll write their report to Accra. And based on that, maybe Accra will liaise with them and liaise with us so that they can release the date which the election should come on. So that's what we are waiting. We are waiting for the CICU and Accra to come up with a new date so that we can take this election out of the way. So that is the position so far as I am a candidate wanting to lead this a party in UK and Ireland.
I see.
So that's the situation, Mansa Musa.
I see. So let me ask you, the list or the register, you've seen it, right?
Yes, I got my copy through my email, Mansa Musa.
And what do you make of it?
There are a few challenges so far as the list is concerned. That is why the branch leadership has to go back to them. Musa, the Chapter Electoral Committee or the CICU hasn't called some of us into meeting for briefing. When they call us into briefing and meeting, that is where we are going to put our statements, our requests across. Because the yardstick that they use to measure other branches, they should use the same yardstick to measure all the branches. So that, you see, the playing field will be leveled.
Are you then trying to say you suspect the same yardstick has not been used to measure others?
Yeah, you see, the information reaching me is speculation and allegation. However, Mansa Musa, the list I received, I've gone through it. I've seen that some other branches have big numbers, some don't have big numbers. That list, some aspects may be right, some aspects may be wrong. But I can only tell those who produce the list that there's a need to do the needful. Okay? Because, Mansa Musa, listen, if you come to Sheffield branch, we give you a list and you drop certain numbers and you say that because the information that you have on the data is not matching with the bank details, when you go to another branch, you have to do the same. So we want to find out which criteria do they use, okay? So that if the criteria that they use match across board, then we say that, okay, that is fine. the system gives us 2 years. That look, if you are contesting for executive position, you have to be 4 years good standing with dues paying. If you're a voter, 2 years good standing. Okay, so whatever it is, if some people are using a shortcut, that is where the contentions will come. Some of us as candidates will say that no, we are not going to agree. If it is said 2 years across board for a voter, it should be 2 years across board. We don't have to allow any group of people to use any shortcut. I am not accusing any branch. I am speaking based on the data before me. So that is what we are all waiting, Mansa Musa.
So the data before you, as you say, have you got any cause to suspect any foul play, either deliberately or wrongdoing or a mistake? Have you got any cause to believe that has happened?
Yes, I will say that there could be a mistake on some of the yardstick they use to measure some members within certain places. That is why, Kwesi, I'm demanding a meeting, or you see, if they invite me as a candidate and other candidate for us to meet, then Mansa Musa, this question can be put across. Let me say this. If the chapter electoral committee guys are listening, or the CICs are listening, they should listen carefully. As a candidate, I followed up to my branch leadership. And I asked them questions, whether they have come to interview them concerning the list they submitted and why they have cut the list into two. They say they have not come to meet them, which is unheard of. So that is where my bone of contention is. So they have to come and meet the branches, the branch treasurers. Musa, let me give you a bit of an explanation. You see, if you want to determine a good standing of a member, this is what happens. Before COVID, in other branches, some of the people were paying their dues in cash. And some of the cash go to the treasurer. They receive them and they record it in their books. And they keep monies. So they will keep the money at some point before they pay the money into branch account. So if the treasurers pay the money into branch account, it's a bulk money. Maybe pay for Kwisakwa, Mansa Musa, King Edward, Fufana, about the list of numbers. So there should be an explanation of every money that is paid into the branch account. If it is 500 or 1,000, must be explained. So that explanation should go in a spreadsheet with the list to the chapter electoral committee. So they need to take their time and look for those monies. If the money was from bank to bank, for instance, if I paid through, are you there, Mansa Musa?
Yes, we are listening to you.
If one pays the dues with standing order or direct debit, in this case, it's bank-to-bank transaction. So it is easy for the chapter electoral committee to identify the money. So when they produce the statement, you will see that, oh, Kwisakwa has been paying constant monthly dues based on standing orders or direct debit. Okay, so that one, it is straightforward. But the bulk payment one, it is where the challenge is. Mansa Musa, I suggested to the chapter electoral committee, some of the members, that look, you can't sit in London and achieve the result by the data. Go to the branches. Let the chapter give you resources, transport. Visit all the branches, sit down with the branch leadership, and let them show you the books so that you do it one by one. I think that assignment, I don't know whether they really did it. And so disappointed, Mansa Musa, because we have waited for too long.
I'm still, you see, for me, I'm asking these questions. So, one, for the listeners to judge for themselves, and two, me myself, I want to understand. What you have explained is confusing me more, Kwesi. The thing is, the list has come out. My question is, you saying maybe according to information you are receiving here and there, you seeing the list itself, what exactly do you think?
Let me tell you.
My question is, what exactly do you think is wrong with the list?
They should look at the issue of the certain branch figures and the certain type of methodology they use to pass certain group of people. The numbers there, certain branches have got huge numbers as compared to others.
Yes, but that is natural, isn't it? I mean, all the branches cannot have the same numbers.
Yeah, but Mansa Musa, that is why we need to know the yardstick they use, okay? And they should explain which yardstick they use. If those on the list are 2 years with a good standing for payment.
I see. Are you challenging that some of the names you see are people who are not of good standing and you can prove it?
Musa, listen to me carefully.
I'm listening.
The list before us, what you're going to do is that we are going to interrogate the list branch by branch.
Yes.
Every branch submitted the list. And if they have proved that, okay, my branch list are submitted, I have the data, I have a receipt, I have a bank account to match the receipt, then we will say that, yes, that list is authentic. If you come to Sheffield and also I produce you the list, and in the list there is a bulk payment, this time maybe not bank to bank, but bulk payment. But the bulk payment, the branch can explain the bulk payment with the list of the individuals who pay the money from maybe 2019 to 2022 with the bank account matching it, then the individual is qualified to vote. You see, the technicalities is here that you don't go to some other branch and maybe they manage to show you some receipts and other things, but are there 2 years in payment?
So you are saying that the group came about this list. The method they used is not accurate.
What group are you talking about?
I'm talking about whoever presented this list. Are you saying that
it's not whoever? Let me explain.
No. Kwesi, those who brought it, I mean, it's immaterial. We the outsiders, so those listen. Those who have produced this list, they are the people tasked to bring out this list. Are you saying that their method they used to acquire this list is not accurate, good enough, or what?
Musa, that is why I'm saying that for now, you see, you are asking me to provide you with answers. But the answers is with them, not with me, Kwesi.
No, but you say you are not satisfied with it. So what is...
No, Musa, you see, they have given me a provisional list. Listen carefully. They have given me it's not the final list. They say provisional.
Yes.
And if you look at provisional list, it could be reviewed. It could be changed.
Okay.
So now that they are saying it is provisional list, it is now on them to come and explain how they came about the provisional list with maybe 60 for one branch and maybe 10 for another branch. They should come and explain.
Okay, before they come to explain to you, what is it with the list that you don't agree with or find it not accurate? Or you just that you don't have anything against it, but they should come and explain anyway?
Yeah, they should come and explain, because when they come and explain and we also speak direct to them, they may see their mistakes and either remove some people or include some in other branches. Because when they come and explain, then we will also put a question. I can pick a name on the list I have. Because of data privilege, I can't mention names on it.
Yes, I totally agree with you. But I'm getting confused more because I thought you had a reason to doubt the authenticity or the credibility of that list. But you are not giving any reason. You don't have any reason to doubt.
Mansa, let me be technical with you. Let me be technical. What you are doing, you are trying for me to provide. See, if you are a scientist and you go to science lab and you want to do analysis of your investigation, you will test and test and test until you get your final result.
Yes.
You can't test 1 and 2 and based on your
Kwesi, so if you have tested and got the final result and you bring it to me, Mansa Musa, I should have some doubts and that my doubt should be very much clarified. So I want to know your doubt first before, Kwesi, I have to outline my doubt before I bring it back to say, Kwesi, I'm not sure this is right because this and this doesn't add up. Then at least I'm pointing out something. But you, Kwesi, you are not pointing out anything to me.
No, Mansa Musa, don't try to be smart than me. You are saying, no, don't try to be smart. Now you are saying to bring your final result. The committee, the chapter hasn't told all of us that they have got their final result.
Yes.
So why are we crying?
Because you see, Kwesi, the point is, look, you have gone to, you brought about laboratory. You've got everything. And you say, this is provisional. Mansa Musa, have a look. If I look and I doubt something, I have to point out that I can't just say that.
No, Mansa Musa, point of order, hold on. During the test investigation in the laboratory analogy I give you, assuming you are testing, you have test 1, test 2, test 3 before you get your final test.
Yes.
So each test you do, where there's mistakes, you correct it.
Yes.
If you move to second testing, there's a mistake, you correct it.
Yes.
You do the test until you get your final product.
Exactly.
So now that is the process that we are. You see,
but then they think, listen, Kwesi, they think they have brought something. They don't know that there are mistakes. So you have to point the mistakes.
Those are the types of analogy I give you, that the testing but they use the word provisional. You see, the provisional they give us is more or less like the processes and the testing stage.
Yes.
So now it is up to the branch leadership.
It's up to you, Kwesi, included. Yes.
Oh no. Me, Kwesi, I have lodged my complaint with my branch executives. Not, you see.
Okay, fine. Kwesi, I understand. So it's up to a certain people. You have already spoken your mind to them. Okay, so it's up to you people to point out the mistakes. So, Kwesi, have you found the mistakes in that list?
No, Musa, you see, Mansa Musa, which day were you born?
Kwesi, make things understandable to average person. I am average person. I don't understand what you are saying.
Musa, okay, no, hold on. Musa, some of the branch executives, like us, have submitted their report.
Yes.
Back to them. So, you see, we are dealing with the party stretchers here. And you have to be very mindful that, Mansa Musa, National Democratic Congress is a whole entity.
Yes.
So if they appoint stretchers to look for things, we have to wait for the stretchers to bring a report. If there's a problem, then we go into it and challenge the report and tell them to review the reports. We can't sit somewhere and be condemning the stretchers. We all fall under the oppression of the party. Either you belong or you don't belong. And I've told you that I complained to my branch executives and they have written a report and they are doing a follow-up. So before the final report will come, my branch executive should go and solve the problems with them. So that when the final report comes and I get a copy and they say it's a final, that is why if me, Kwesi, I'm not happy and I want to take another level of action or legal action, I will do it. Now I'm holding a legal document. For now, I don't have the final report. I have provisional, which is part of the testing base. Okay? So we need to be, you see, when we are throwing information out there, castigating, committee this, we have to be careful because they said the provisional list. We need to interrogate it before the final approval is given.
Have you interrogated this list, Kwesi?
Have you interrogated what?
The list.
Yes, I've seen it. I've gone through.
And what have you found?
You have asked me the same question again, Mansa Musa.
Because you are not telling me what you have found.
No, what I have found is that there are some branches, there are a lot of people in there. We need to pick them one by one and interrogate it. But we pick names.
Oh, I see. Now I get it. So it means you think that some branches have some names that shouldn't be there.
No, some branches have some names, which is, there are more. So we need to interrogate
but if there is more, why don't you trust the people who have brought this to you guys that they have already done the investigations?
Musa.
Yes.
Can we change the topic? Because for now, let me tell you this.
Because you are not explaining to my understanding.
No, I'm explaining. You are playing the games, but hold on. Let me explain my position.
Okay.
I told you the provisional list.
Okay.
Is still under review.
Yeah.
Okay. So the question you are going around, let's stop it there. I beg you. Now, no, let's stop it there. I can refuse to answer some questions.
Anyway, Kwesi, the list, the one coming from Sheffield, do you agree with it?
I don't agree. That's why I said I complain to my
you see, this is specific. So the Sheffield one, you think there's something wrong with it, right?
Yeah, they've cut huge numbers of my voters.
Now you are talking. You see, we go round in circles.
Musa, you are not giving me opportunity to see.
No, I've given you so much. Kwesi, you started by saying that some people, there are many. But now you have to talk about what you know. So the Sheffield one, you think you have a problem with it. That one we can accept. That one everybody will understand you. No, now I understand you.
I told you that, Musa, I told you, when you asked me, when you started this conversation,
yes,
Musa, you told me and I told you that Sheffield one, I said there's a problem. So I complained to the branch executive.
Okay.
And they said they will sort it out. They've written a report.
Okay.
I told you that. And he said, now I'm talking.
Okay. So the Sheffield one, you think you are short by how many people?
Oh, Musa, the numbers we took there, almost half of them. But even some of them are qualified because some of them paid cash. Me, I was a chairman before I moved that. So I know that some individuals paid money in cash and the cash were paid bulk. So it is up to the chapter executive committee to come to the branch, sit down with the branch.
Oh, I see. Now I get what you mean. So it means even in your own branch, you found some mistakes here and there. So you want that one.
Yes, it is a provisional list. So when they review it properly, they will see the mistakes.
Okay. So now your branch, have they listed those things and send it back to them? Because you were giving up to 29th of March.
Work in progress. So far as I know, the branch leadership has submitted their report.
Okay.
Work in progress.
Okay. That the cutoff day or the deadline was 29th of March. So when do you expect to hear a response or get a response or reply?
Oh, a reply. I mean the date or the provisional list?
No, the date for the reply for your inquest or request.
Hopefully, let's say within a week if they do their checks and everything. Because I'm waiting for my branch executives to brief me. Okay. That report we submitted based on what we have, they have replied or they have invited us to discussion or meeting, okay, so that they can go and sit down and say, look, okay, I think we have seen a mistake. Let's correct it, okay?
Realistically, Kwesi, do you think we are going to, in the end, you guys will have to wait till after primaries, NDC primaries in Ghana, before people will get their head round, to come and sort out these problems?
Which type of primaries?
The NDC primaries. Do you think they will?
I mean the flag
everything. Yeah, the primaries and flag bearers will be.
You see, Mansa, let me speak to NDC UK members here. Members and the chapter executives who are listening. They should listen carefully. Accra don't care if we are not ready to fix our problem in UK and Ireland. And this National Democratic Congress has got millions of sympathizers and followers. And NDC in Ghana, or NDC in general, all over the world, we are ready to win election 2024. Either with the chapter group here or without them. So we need to fix every problem, Musa, we are encountering here. It is something we need to do and do it good. But let me give you some information, Musa.
Please.
There are individuals within the party in UK and Ireland. They know some of the challenges we face in this chapter. But because of politics and trying to be leader with that good thing, they are all quiet, Musa. Musa, we are using a word called chapter. Nikwesi and other chairmen, we have spoken about it. That our main problem is the word chapter we are using. Musa, your phone is ringing. You see, it is on us to sit down and say that, look, we need to review the system. If we have to use external branches instead of chapter, let's remove that chapter away and use what we call external branches. Musa,
if they are telling us that the chapter is into constituency equivalent, Musa, when you go to Ghana, the constituency equivalent, what they do is that they select executives based on delegate system when you go to conference. So we should empower our members to go to your branch. You see, we should recruit people into the branch level, give them the powers to elect very good executives within the branches. Then when we are ready to elect chapter executives, which is an administrative body, the delegates go into conference and elect. You see, Musa, when you put a system in place like this based on the constitutional arrangement, Musa, this tension will all stop. We have sit around and we have allowed this to go on, and we are stressing our members every 4 years. Why? You see, the other day I heard you speaking to Chief Malik, and he was telling you that even if you bring what you call it, did he say? He used a term. He said if you bring, I've forgotten what he used. Remind me, please. I said if you bring God to even come and supervise, they said there will be tension here. I agree with him. Musa, we need to change our electoral system. That is why me, Kwesi, when I get the opportunity to lead this chapter, one of the things I would do is that the electoral system must be looked into. This word chapter, is it mentioned in the Constitution? If it is not mentioned in the Constitution, what are we doing about it? If we are chapter and we have to elect just a chapter executive, Musa, chapter executive, they are only administrative body. If you are chapter executive, you are chairman, you lose election, you go back to your branch and serve. So why are we not reforming the system in such a way that the branch members will be happy? They don't need to go through this stress. If Scotland elect the executives, if Sheffield elect the executives, South London, North London elect the executives, and when there's a need to elect chapter executive bodies, the delegate system goes in there and select quality leaders to lead us. Not when we have the mass numbers, people now want to do gerrymandering, put people inside. Musa, that is the problem we are seeing now. Because of that, people want to think, we can massage the branches, get the numbers, and take them to the chapter to elect chapter executives. Meanwhile, there's a need for us to look at the system and say, look, this system is not working. Let's beg Accra, we beg you. Give us approval to... Look, Musa, Germany are using a different system. Italy are using a different system. Some other European countries are using it. Why can't we do it? We live in the United Kingdom, a citadel of education, Mansa Musa. And look at us. It is so disappointing, Mansa Musa. People are stressed up. Look, Kwesakwa, I decided to put myself up to lead this chapter, not because the sake of the power, but because of reforms. Which is
Is it possible that now that you feel or sound very frustrated and tired and overwhelmed, one will say maybe just give up, just throw in the towel so that the fight will become easier and you move forward. What do you say to that?
Master Musa,
yes.
I love NDC too much.
And you love Kwesi too to win power, innit?
I love NDC. You see, it pains me to sit back and see the way we are tearing NDC apart in UK and Ireland. We need power, Mansa Musa. So what we need to do is that it is not the only Kwesi who love NDC in UK and Ireland. As we speak now, there are individual sympathizers who haven't registered to be members. They are NDC. They love NDC. We need to make them happy, Mansa Musa. You see, those are some of the challenges we face, Mansa Musa. Yes, I can throw my clean towel and say, Kwesi, I'm giving up. Look, all the money I'm spending in terms of adverts and all that, I say, it's enough. But Mansa Musa, it is the passion and the love for my country, Ghana. That's what I'm doing, Mansa Musa.
Okay.
So please, Mansa Musa, I know that you've given me this opportunity, but I would like to say this finally before I conclude. UK and Ireland NDC. In the name of God, all our members, let's make sure whatever mistakes, whatever problems that we are facing, together, let's clean the system. Let's make sure we get a voter list. We vote, we elect executives to lead us. But however, let's together do the reforms that the party needs. So that when we invite Asiedun Katia and the team that chiefs, now we are ready, we want to come to UK. They come to UK smiling to come and support us. Musa, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. God bless you and God bless your listeners.
All right, yeah, that's it. Right, so this is where I bring the curtain down. Thank you all for listening, and tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening, we'll come and continue. We'll continue the show. Fire will burn you. Tomorrow, don't forget, Empress Kwekwa will be here. For me, all what I will say is that, it is true that the damage being caused by a politician is coming from the side of the MPP and Nanado. The NDC MPs do their best. But what they've done recently will have to, come, some consequences will have to come about what their actions. So don't get it wrong. If we are criticizing the NDC MPs, we are not saying that they are the troublemaker, they are the cause of Ghana's woes. No. The cause of Ghana's woes is directed at Akufo-Addo's house and his party and everything. But NDC people, voting the way they did has strengthened the hand of Nanado, and that one, the NDC hierarchy should, act. Thank you very much. See you tomorrow. Have a good night. Cheers. Bye.
So
Oh no me boy, mo papa guitar, mo come on some show, yeah. C'est better.